What's up guys, and welcome to another Rocket League analysis video. So, this video is the other half of the my first one. This one is for Tom, or from Tom's perspective, and for Tom's sake. So, let's get stuck in. Whoa, plus 5 points already because you took a cheeky little sneak peek at your teammate. You're like, oh, look at that handsome man. That's good. Alright, you've done well with that going back. Pushing there when you could see that he'd already turned. So the moment he turned and he's facing the ball, I would start shadowing instead of like continuing to go towards him. Like I would have turned by this point so that you can begin shadowing just in case he takes a fast shot. Because had he taken a fast shot here, it would have been a goal. Obviously, he flopped and you managed to get a really good save here. Ah, okay. We already knew this was coming up. It's always good to see. Did it? No, you didn't get to score it. So this is our rule 1. So if I'm analysing this rule 1, I would like to point out that... Okay, server. Okay, I'm not gonna analyse any further. His car sucked. Breakout sucks. All you Breakout fans, your car sucks. Get a real car. Like Badmobile. So this is unfortunate, this boost grab. This, like, you had the right mindset here, but for some odd reason, it just... I think it was just the timing of your flip. Just made the ball go nowhere. It just, like... It just flopped. I don't know why. I don't know. Octane sucks, so... Oh, this is just gonna be... It's just gonna be a roasting video where I just roast all the cars. The different hitboxes. Alright, so that first touch was good. Like this one to get it over. I would have tried for a shot here personally. You know, curve into the middle of the field just a tad and take a shot attempt instead of trying to go straight for a pass. But no biggie either way. Oh my god. You almost got into another rule 1. Can we just enjoy how extremely precise this that recovery was? Oh, it's good stuff. So I would have taken a shot there or gone for a fake perhaps, or big rough. So I see the mindset you were trying to go for here. Make him shoot early, but the ball's already in the air, so like he's already like he's either gonna commit for a shot, which you want to be on the ground for, or is not going to commit, which you can then adapt to and just hit the brakes. So stay a little bit more grounded with stuff like this. You don't have to force them to go for a shot if they're not dribbling. If they're not dribbling, you don't need to force a shot because they're gonna take a shot anyway. Like they become very predictable when they're not dribbling. The reason you force a shot with dribbles is because dribbles are very unpredictable. Stuff like this isn't really unpredictable. So although the turn here, like the little turn, wasn't necessarily a bad thing, he'd already jumped by the time you turned. So there was no like, you know, it was risky to do this. Obviously, Kevin was back, so it wasn't a big deal, but definitely something to keep in mind. And it's a goal, easy. That's what it looks like when two people commit too hard. You know, they're both here. One hits it one way, the other hits it the other way, and then they're both in the corner over there. You know? Well, they're both in the middle. They're both in offense, which, you know, if it was a 3v3, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's 2v2, not so wise. So that was a good touch. But one thing that will happen when you get above sort of champ 3 and into grand champ is people will hit these backboards. So he would have already been up and lining up the double touch. So it's definitely not a bad habit to get into pre-jumping these and making, like, intercepting them as or before they hit the wall. Definitely, especially if you have 71 boost. If you've got a bunch of boost, then it's definitely worthwhile to jump for it. So this is a good that was a good defensive rotation. I definitely would have just gone all the way back if you already kind of were planning to go all the way back. I just would have let this touch completely play out instead of sort of just sitting here. But it was smart that you went back post and sat back post ready to make a clear ball. So your defensive like rotations here weren't too bad, but the chance of someone of this rank getting the ball all the way to the backboard is pretty slim. So don't be afraid to sit just a little bit lower, aiming a little bit further upwards, so that you have more options. Alright, so your rotations here are pretty good. Unfortunate shot, like I can see that you were trying to go for a shot there. It was a smart decision to make because you did have an open net. Oh, that was wise, staying back a little bit more. So the errors, as you can see, like the errors that I'm pointing out now, are a lot smaller. Like the margins are a lot smaller than what they were previously. So which is a sign that you've made some pretty major improvements. Just slowing it down a notch, because there's two sequences in a row where you just did not make contact, and this sequence here, for example, where you were like you had an opportunity to hit the ball towards the net, you rushed this one. So just don't outpace yourself. Now here, for example, make sure that you commit for this 50 and actually either get it or that you slow down a little bit and slow down the 50 so that you're not zippy zooming past 30 miles an hour. Also, wow, you just stole that boost? There wasn't even anyone going for it. And that was a situation where, again, you're just playing very, very fast. Good 50 though. That's an easy open net and an easy goal. Bada bing, bada boom. Huh. Alright, take control here. Well, unfortunate first touch, but you managed to do it right after that. If you do make a mistake like this, instead of trying to go for a shot completely, try to back off just a tad and try to go for a full hard 50-50. Because you can see from the direction that he was coming from about here, you can see the direction he's coming from. He's not going to be taking a he's coming goal side but slightly offset because of the direction that he's facing outwards. So you can actually go for 50 here and win on it. So definitely try to stay without having to worry about the ball going into your half of the field. So definitely if a play like that happens and gets a little iffy, a little sketchy, don't be afraid to just go for a 50 on their goal line. You slow it down a notch. I feel this is all just speed now, so you're learning to pace yourself. You've got all that speed and you're just sort of figuring out how to make that speed worthwhile. Which is very subjective because depending on the player, depending on the player, it'll change the thought process that they have behind how they use speed and how they slow down and how they speed up. Also this here, if you go for touch like this and you can't put it in the corner completely, somewhere safe, go for as soft a touch as you physically can so that you can follow it up. this passed it out to him, and your flip made your landing slower, and basically everything about, and you couldn't like change direction, which you would have been able to do if you didn't flip. You could have just turned your car and just boosted forwards back into the ball and gone for a 50. So definitely definitely something to keep in mind is that when you don't have an opportunity to do exactly what you want, you play for damage control. You don't keep committing to it, you know. Like obviously you wanted a proper clear there, but you couldn't get one, but you still committed anyway. This isn't a bad turn here. Obviously you just needed to side flip instead of front flip. It's not a bad turn, but I definitely would have suggested just staying where you were, like staying in this position, just brake and let him just drive up to you instead of turning back around. You know, it offers you more freedom of like more directional freedom when you're shadowing. Got hair in my mouth. So the place you were sitting there wasn't so bad. That was fuck these. There's some good recoveries, my dude. I definitely would have suggested seeing is there was like at no point here after this touch is he capable of really doing anything. The best he's got is like a little doink or something, which actually would have passed it into the center of the field. So he played the smart thing. He played the smart option by not touching it in this position. But in the process, it also means that you can take your time and line up a more diverse touch. So don't be afraid to like give yourself a little bit more time and just pace yourself in terms of speed. You know, if you see an opportunity, if you see an opening, take it to its fullest extent. Oh, there's no way you're going to get that. But at least it didn't bounce towards the center of the field with any sort of pace in it. Yeah, I wouldn't have jumped for this either. I know at the start it seems like, oh, maybe I can redirect it, but obviously by the time you got to it, it was at the wall. So something like definitely a misread there to jump up for that. Not a big deal, but something to keep in mind. Like, so when you have opportunities, take them to their fullest extent. When you don't have opportunities, play it safe, just like you're doing right now. And close demo. I was going to say something else, but it's basically like me. That was good. Like, cause I was gonna suggest like working something to work on your challenges with, but when it comes to challenges, they're very subjective, and it's dependent on your own skills and capabilities. You know, and the enemy and the direction they're going and stuff like that. This was smart here as well. I like that little passage of play, because it was very comms specific. I could tell that it was comms. But yeah, so what I would say to work on is just cleaning everything up. For the most part, the majority of your stuff is pretty good. The majority of your rotations and the majority of your mechanics are pretty good. All you need to do now is take full advantage of your opportunities so that they become, so that you can grow them into much bigger, like shots or passes, something deadly, you know. So continue nurturing the space that you have. Give the enemy more space. Keep recovering the way you're recovering, because it's very good, very clean. And yeah, all in all, like you look pretty clean and pretty good and pretty consistent, and you've made a lot of improvement over the past couple of months as well. So you're definitely sort of coming into your own as a play style and as a player. It's just continuing that practice so that you can improve to the best of your abilities and take the chances as they come to the best of your abilities. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it has been informative. Please feel free to like it or dislike it, or dislike it, or like it. And thank you for sending this in, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, and be safe. I already said be safe in the other video, but also still be safe. Extra safe. 100% safe. Okay. Bye.